Out of respect, please turn off all phones. Remove your hats. Is anybody recording? Okay. Shall we stand for a moment of silence and the pledge? Thank you. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May we have the approval of the minutes of the board for the April 20th meeting? May I have a motion?
Yeah, I second.
Who's first?
I move we accept the minutes from the previous meeting.
Have a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Gail, we have a letter for correspondence, please.
This is dated May 21st, 2022. The ladies of Brookridge would like to sponsor a spaghetti dinner on May 28th, put on by the Central High ROTC, and there will be outside guests invited. Sincerely, Patrona Turman, Vice President of the Ladies of Brookridge. And there's a motion attached. I make a motion to allow the ladies of Brookridge to sponsor a spaghetti dinner for ROTC cadets of Central High School on May 28th, 2022, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the clubhouse for Brookridge residents and outside guests. Also to have the facilities personnel work out the schedule so no overtime fees are incurred. And that's a motion.
May I have a second?
Jerry wants to be the second.
All right, okay, we'll put Jerry, thank you.
May I have any discussion?
Yes.
Rosemary?
Where's Patrona?
I don't think she's here.
I think the confusion might be that the ladies of Brookridge had their members meeting this past Monday, and the members had to approve the sponsorship. That's why there's a discrepancy in the date.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Yeah. I'm going to sit down and read my president's report today. I want to take a few minutes to address the letter that a resident handed out tonight. She had brought in several letters that she noted on her letter that did not make this agenda. So I want to address some of the issues that she has in here, this letter, this 3-page letter that she gave to all of you when you came in tonight. One was about the vendors coming in and property owners being charged. After reviewing the vendor section of the rules and regulations, you will note that there is no documentation making the property owner responsible for a vendor speeding. The issue will be addressed at a rules and regulations meeting soon. Therefore, code enforcement will not be holding the property owner responsible for any vendor speeding at this time. Okay? a question regarding the SOPs that are not on Brookridge.com. I want to tell you what the SOPs are for. The purpose of the Standard Operating Procedure, SOPs, is to provide step-by-step instructions compiled by an organization to help workers carry out routine operations so that any team member can carry out their task correctly. A well-written SOP will facilitate training. A SOP is not considered a government document. The other issue is that I do want to talk to you about is if you as a resident have a issue or a problem, you need to come yourself and discuss it, not talk about it and ask somebody else or complain to them and have somebody else come and talk about it, please. We are not ogres. Code enforcement works very hard for this development. And without them, traffic would be horrible. I want to talk a little bit about the advisory committee came in and they did an intense traffic study for us. One of the comments and one of their proposals was the sheriff's department coming in to monitor our roads. However, some of the issues raised were fines that would go to the county. And then I had a comment that said, so what? Okay, when those fines go to the county and those fines then do not become part of our income and the HOA dues go up, then we're going to say, so what? I want to go a little farther with that. Golf carts. Issues with golf carts. All right. If the county comes in here to monitor these roads, I'll just give you a little story here. There would be no golf carts on the road after dark, with or without lights. Intoxications, drivers must be sober. All rules related to public roads would apply. Tickets would be written. Cost for a moving violation is up to $262 in the county. Ticketed golf carts would be fined $170. Code enforcement has been more aggressive in finding speeders here. And honestly, all they get are complaints. So we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. We are trying, and only with your help, the help of these residents, can we beat this traffic speeding. Because most of our speeders are our residents. And at the end of this letter, there was a statement made about the advisory board and the county, and it said, recommendations were tabled or else totally nixed. Please understand, we do not totally nix anything without further research and deliberation. I hope this answers some of your questions. If you have any more, I'm usually in the office. I want to finish my notes now. Just give me a minute to find it. I'm not trying to be hard. I just know that this is a huge development. We are one of the largest developments of this type in the state of Florida. We want to be the best, and we could only be the best with everybody working together. As hard as that may seem, I think we can do it.
Ann?
I'm sorry. Thank Thank you, Carol. Okay, now my president's report. This board has been in office for 2 months. The board has visited and sat in on the committees. We have great people who are dedicated to making Brookridge the best retirement place in Florida. I cannot put in the president's report all day today and sometimes night concerns that residents bring to the office. I have been working with the residents trying to resolve some of their issues, and I will be honest with you, at least 90% or more, I do get back to those residents. I'm still learning from the staff on how to be the best president who understands your concern and will work with you to resolve them. As I said, I'm usually in the office all day. Please call first. Thank you. And I want to touch on the golf carts real quick and ask residents to please register the golf carts if they are not rental golf carts. We would like to have a fall festival this year. We haven't had one for a couple of years. However, there's a few kinks we need to work out, so we'll let you know in the future what's happening there. The beautification committee has done a beautiful job, and we can be proud of the community we live in. I want to thank you all for your support, and with your support of my board of directors, we can make Brookridge a better community. Thank you. Maybe have the treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report as of end of April 2022. Operating account ending balance, $390,964.04. Assessments, $124,893.11. Fines owed, $71,061.95. Currently, we have 29 liens on file. Assessment income, $136,216.45. BRC fines, $3,100, and other income, $7,987.89. 7,937.89. I think I need new glasses. The total income was $147,254.34. In the budget, the administration, $34,920.27, or 38%. Facilities, $28,906.67, 34% of our budget. Public Works, $20,271.12, 29%, and Code Enforcement, $43,650.36, or 28%, for total expenses of $127,748.42. In our reserve accounts, at the moment, we have year-to-date $182,280, and that's the deposit, for a balance of $1,137,044.48. There was nothing paid out in the reserve this month. And under donated funds, our funds are $23,242.93. Total payout was $1,980.64. The 4 items were reimbursements to members of the Beautification Committee, including the $964.93 for the mulch that they spread out. Sam's Club was $798.69, and that was for the purchase of new cabinets for the ladies of the Tuesday night bingo. And the total was, as I said, $1,980.64.
May I have a motion to accept?
I move to accept.
Okay, a second? Second. Wow. Any discussion? Oh, you came in late?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Oh, did she get one? Yes.
I'd just like to ask, what is the VRC fund? What is that?
AVRC,
What is, yeah, VRC. Yeah, what is
Yeah.
that exactly?
they are violations.
Is that just like the speeding?
Speeding, you didn't wash the mold off of your house, your yard looks like it could go somewhere, and, your roof is falling down. Okay? Any other question?
Why do we need $1 million, savings account?
For our reserve?
Why do we need that much?
This reserve is basically depreciation. And this building is depreciated over so many years. So you put so much money in, if it has to be replaced. Your autos in our reserve, have a 5-year lifetime. So you put so much money in that, account, so that when the vehicle is due, you have the money there. Our roads are our most expensive item in here, and we have over $1 million in reserve for the roads, for the paving of them. Some of them are gonna have to be milled next year, and that means taking them right down and then back up again. So, our biggest, we have our clubhouse. We have money in reserve for the clubhouse, for our ad building. So every asset that we have, there's a reserve funding for it for replacement. Okay? All right, you're welcome. Daniel.
I'm kind of new to the whole process and everything like that. I'm looking at the book from last month on the balance, it's showing $1.8 million. And this month we're showing 1.1, so we spent $700,000 on? Am I missing something?
We purchased the truck out of there, did we not, Carol?
I have no idea where he is.
32.
Was that the gasoline that got paid for the truck?
I know there's a lot of issues about the truck, so I'm a big girl, I can take it. Daniel, let me look into that, and I will get back to you, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Last month it was 1.8 million, and that was showing.
Yeah, and we had expenses, in that month. So, but I'm not sure, I'm not sure exactly what they were. So let me go back and take a look at it. Okay?
Excuse me, aren't they supposed to be
Right
at the
now,
podium?
can we do that at the member comments?
Yes.
No, I'm gonna say it because they're saying it, okay? I haven't seen the silver truck, since you got the black truck. What happened to the truck?
Oh, it's out there. It is out there, yes.
Secondly, with the reserve fund, as I brought up before, okay, the front of the community, I think that's maybe the general manager's, job to do, but the front of the community does not present well. There's broken lanterns, it's a mess.
And I know you mentioned that last month.
Why can't some of those reserve funds go to improve the look of the community? Garden beds don't achieve everything, okay?
This is true.
Yes,
This is true.
yes, it looks terrible.
I'll make a note, I promise you.
Oh, I am, I'm gonna be giving you a personal call about that one.
Okay, you do that. I'll look for it, Renee.
By the
Mary,
way,
did you have a question?
I would just like to comment on that.
Yeah.
The flower beds are not taken out of the reserve or the operating fund. It is just taken out of donated funds.
Yes, okay.
And that's all, but that's not that's a subject for, member comments.
But we have reserve funds that should be maintaining the front of the community, minus the garden beds, okay? Just the structures of the community need to be maintained, number one. Number two, as far as the garden beds, you need to remove
Okay, let's discuss that at another time. And if you're calling me, very good. Thank you so much. So I need a motion, I think, to approve the treasurer's report. Oh, we already did. I'm sorry. Bear with me.
Madam President,
All right.
right now, you're in the middle of the business session of the meeting. Any questions or concerns? We should just move that off to members' comments?
Okay. As I said, I'm learning. All right, our next is we have the report from our general manager now.
I am pleased to announce that Vivian has accepted the bookkeeper's position, and we have hired Jody Lynn Schultz to fill Vivian's position at the front desk. Jody is highly qualified and very personable and will be joining us next Monday, the 23rd. Please allow Vivian and Jody time to get acclimated.
Thank you, Carol. We don't have any unfinished business. Okay. The next one be to update the rules and regulations, Article 6. Let me get to that point. Okay. Article 6, new business. Topic, rules and regulations, Article 6, Section 2, collection of delinquent annual assessments. Recommendation, update rules and regulations, Article 6, Section 2, collection of delinquent annual assessments. Verbiage for clarity as attached. Section 2, collection of delinquent annual assessments. A late letter is mailed on the first day of the following month indicating a $5 late fee will be applied to the account. I make a motion to approve rules and regulations, Article 6, Section 2, collection of delinquent annual assessments, verbiage for clarity attached. May I have a second?
I'll second it, Anna.
All in favor? We have any discussion? Yeah, I did. I said all in favor. All in favor? That's what I was, okay, that's what I was doing. Okay, Gail. Okay, thank you. May I have any discussion before the vote, please? No way in the back. Lucy,
Come to the podium.
can we wait until, can she come up and discuss? Okay, honey, all right, come on up. Yeah, well,
We'll see
hit
the
you-
wire.
I'll
I know
hit you
it's
with the gavel.
Wednesday. Okay, do it. Okay. If you did that last month with the SOPs and now you're catching up to change it in the rules and regs to coincide everything, which was a good thing that you did, are you scratching totally that there won't be any notice on the 15th of the month if somebody didn't pay yet? That's what you did last month.
Okay, let
Yes or
me
no?
tell you.
Yes, that's
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
All right. I want to
Okay.
explain this to you.
No, I understand what you did last month.
Okay.
Now you're making sure.
Hypothetically, let me explain.
Okay.
Hypothetically, your dues are due March the 1st. You don't pay them, March the 31st comes. April the 1st, they send out a late letter and charge your account $5. 45 days after April the 1st, which is May the 15th, is then when they will send out the next letter. Okay?
I've read it all. I know it by heart.
Okay?
Okay, I'm just saying, when you change right now today, you're changing the rules and regs to discontinue sending out this notice about you're being late, you're going to be charged, and and simply doing on the first of that month, the next month, you're going to say you have now been given a late charge. Everything else stays the same, correct?
That's correct.
That's all I wanted to know. And when is it gonna show itself on the rules and regs? Because we have the printed copy, and then we have it on the,
Once it's voted on, I can update it, and then you can get a copy, but I can't do anything till they vote on it.
correct. Now, for those that have a copy, printed copy, when did they get that change?
It goes out on the website.
Just on the website?
Mhm.
Because some people don't have a computer. Okay,
If you would like a copy, it's free of charge to all members.
I already know that, and I've talked about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. Okay, now are we okay with that? Okay. I believe I can say motion passed.
No, they got to vote.
They didn't vote. Okay, all in favor?
Anybody in favor of that? Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carried. Okay, Rosemary, there you go, honey.
This is to do with the reserve account. The reserve study, the purpose of a reserve study is to give those overseeing the maintenance of the property a better idea of what major expenses to expect and an educated estimate of when these expenses will occur. With this knowledge, the Homeowners Association Board or manager can create a budget so association members will make their fair share of reserve contributions designed to offset the slow but steady ongoing reserve component deterioration of the association assets and avoid being surprised by components that deteriorated often in plain sight and over a number of years. In addition, the reserve study provides important annual disclosures to association members and prospective buyers about the conditions of common area components and the level of preparedness strength of the reserve fund, typically measured in terms of percent funded. An HOA reserve study is a roadmap that allows decisions to be made which will be efficient and effective for the long term. The last reserve study was in Brookridge was 2017. The recommendation is to preserve invoice from reserve advisors for $7,250. Proposed motion to approve invoice from reserve advisors for $7,250.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thanks, Ken.
Is there any discussion?
I just
Mary?
have- She's not going.
Mary Story, Unit 6. I'm requesting that I am permitted to complete my concerns before any or all board members respond to this. The motion on the floor is to approve $7,250 for a reserve study. If you're asking the board to approve the spending of $7,250 for a reserve study, then why on January 28th of 2022 was a check cut to the reserve advisors in the amount of $3,625 for a retainer contract? Who signed that contract, and why is there not a copy of that contract in this agenda? Why did President Webster state in her presidential report for the BOD meeting of April 20th, 2022, that a reserve study has already been complete, as well as an audit, as stated in the minutes that this board just approved? Along with the withdrawal for $3,625 reserve study showing in the quarterly profit and loss report. When I questioned the general manager as to who authorized the reserve study to be done, the answer I received in a written letter, which I have a copy of it with me, is the reserve study is being completed by reserve advisories and was recommended by the Treasurer and Finance Committee. Neither the Treasurer or the Finance Committee can authorize a reserve study. All of the above information indicates that a reserve study has already been put into place. Who authorized it? I wish to make it very clear that I am fully in favor of a reserve study to safeguard the community's financial future. That being said, I feel the residents of this development need to know who overstepped their authority and their fiduciary responsibilities to the residents by authorizing a check being drawn off our general operating expenses for an unbudgeted item. The budget approved by this committee has no money allocated to a reserve study. Therefore, the funds were considered in the budget. There were no funds considered in the budget to do a reserve study this year by the Finance Committee. According to our purchasing policy, Section C3, unbudgeted operating expenses requires BOD approval for $2,000 and over. The directors from our past board or administrative personnel who improperly use their authority in accordance with our governing documents should be held responsible and accountable for their actions, along with the fact that the current board is seeking approval for allocation of funds for something that is already in progress or even completed. So I will once again ask who is responsible for the improper use of HOA funds, and why is this board not showing the residents transparency as to the unauthorized use of our HOA funds without board approval? How can you explain and justify a vote for funds already spent without proper authorization?
I'll take full responsibility for that. I went into the hospital and I was not available, and after the fact, I realized what had happened. We put 50% down. We haven't paid it. The reserve study is not complete. I'm sorry.
Okay, so none of the minutes that were just approved by this board,
I didn't
they're incorrect.
I am telling you, I reported last month, I have my report right here, that the reserve study is not done and they're still gathering information.
And the minutes from the April BOD meeting stated in the president's report that she stated that the reserve report was complete and so was the audit.
Yes, and
So every board member who read those minutes
The audit,
attested to that. Please let us speak.
Okay, Mary, that was my error, and I'm willing to take that as my error. I will say this, and this is not the answer, but I was under the impression that the reserve study was finished and the audit, and then they came back to me and said that the reserve study, they wanted more information, and as far as the audit goes, we're still waiting because somebody's on vacation there.
That's fine,
Okay.
but every board member that sits on this board is responsible to know our governing documents. Our purchasing policy is one of our governing documents, and it states right in there it needs BOD approval. So, if the general manager was in the hospital and sick, someone on the board had to approve, previous board, but we have 3 board members up here that were. So, somebody on that board had okay that cutting of that check. And I think the residents have to have a right to know who overstepped their boundaries and did not follow our governing documents. And how can you take a vote on something where the money has already been spent? You're asking to approve $7,250, but you've already taken out of our general operating where nothing was allocated, $3,625.
It's
That's
in
an
the-
injustice to our residents.
it's in the reserves. The financial committee put the money in the reserves for this year.
There is nothing in the reserve
Well,
line for the budget that this
If you'd
community,
like
I
to
have a
stop
copy
at
of
the
it.
office, I'll be happy to get you a copy.
There is a copy. The copy that was sent out to us that we voted on
Mary,
shows nothing for
Mary.
reserve study.
Please, let's just go
For
on.
3
I think
minutes.
the residents are owed, I think
Her
the
3
residents
minutes
are
are
owed an
up.
apology.
Okay.
Thank you.
Her 3 minutes are up.
I think maybe we're not going to accomplish anything, and I can adjourn this meeting right now. Let's be.
The issue
We're
is
telling you
that we
that-
do not feel that we should be
We are telling
subject
you
to
the
this
truth.
hostility at this time. You are all being very hostile to this board.
No, I just,
Wonder why? Why? Just ask yourself why
What-
people feel that way. I have a couple clips in my phone from Ken Duncan, some of his things I've saved for 2 years. Tell me, you ask us why
Okay.
you feel that way.
Adjourn the meeting.
may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting? I just said, may I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor? This meeting is adjourned.